Whether you're joining us across Australian Community TV as New Game Plus or Community Radio as Z Games, welcome to the show. We're going to be talking video games and a whole lot more for the next little bit. I'm in the studio. My name's Jack. I'm here with Meg. Hello again.
Hey.
And,
3 weeks in a row now. It's great.
It's crazy. It's like we do this every single week.
I live here now.
We've been living here for so long.
Yeah.
Another field show. So we're going to be going out to PAX and GCAP, which was great because Games Week is awesome. But also the Game Out Market. So the first segment we've got coming up, the tabletop AR RPG app. Basically, if you've ever played like tabletop games, it's a lot of like magic of the mind, like you're trying to put it all together in your head.
Yes, it's a visual game, like you tell yourself a bit of a narrative, stick to a character, it's all very in the moment.
Yeah. Now there is an app that does all the work for you, so you don't have to use your brain.
I'm obsessed with cool gimmicky apps though. This sounds like an incredible concept. I'm glad someone's finally invented it.
It's really interesting. Also, it was really, really cool seeing like this huge card on the floor at PAX and just seeing a massive like goose just being projected on it. It was awesome.
It's crazy.
So that's coming up. B did that interview at PAX Oz. The Game Out Market, you already know about this one.
Game Out's been around in the community for many, many years.
Right.
And they're growing exponentially at this stage, and they bring on a lot of other like grassroots like crews to
like
have a presence.
Like retro outlets, like they do all these like different like eBay stores and whatever else, and everyone comes together.
Yep, it's a good weekend.
So Jamie and I were there, and we've also got Manami Matsume. They are a composer for Mega Man, among a lot of other games.
It's the Japanese music.
Yes.
Fantastic. Where'd you meet them?
GCAP.
Perfect.
I love doing
Another
these interviews, I swear.
Jack, you've been so busy this past couple of weeks.
It's insane.
I'm glad we're finally seeing some fruits of your hard work on this episode.
Well, I mean, it's always a group effort. Like, there's a lot of people that
behind the scenes
come together to make New Game Plus possible.
It's very true.
So, yeah, let's get straight on into all that sick content.
Hey, this is B, and I'm here in PAX Australia 2019, and I'm here at Art and Roleplay, and this is a weird AR DMing tool based in Brisbane, right?
Brisbane.
And this is Ty.
Hi, I'm Ty. I'm a programmer at Audacious. We're making art and roleplay. Been doing it for about 1.5 years now, so pretty keen.
I have a quest for you. Are you brave enough to accept it?
I don't have a good feeling about this.
Oh, me neither. And so this is basically a tool for GMs or DMs, whatever you want to use. Instead of using the minis, you use these cool little AR cards that the iPhone basically looks down on and is like, cool, instead of a table, it's now a raging river.
Exactly, yeah. So we're supporting both Android and iOS. Currently have builds for both, which is great. But yeah, DM tool. So basically, instead of just looking down at your minis, which you can use these in tandem as well, it lets you overlay some more complex assets with the real world, which you can utilize to send specific reveals and whatnot to your players.
Yeah, I saw that it was really cool. So it was basically this crossroads that I got to see, and depending on the character, so if you have a really cool investigation check, then the wizard is able to see this like coin purse that the ranger and the rogue aren't able to, but then the ranger sees footprints and the rogue can see a trap. So everybody can be sent different pieces of information.
Exactly, yeah. So the way we're doing that is using some file-based cloud messaging to use a notification system, which means that we can hook in with both Android and iOS again, and we can actually send out those notifications to specific devices. Sending those out means that really we can send state updates to anyone at any rate with as many people as we want, which means that metagaming issue that you run into of now suddenly no one's interested in that magic item doesn't really happen because they actually don't know there's a trap. So we've utilized that a lot, and that's something that we're really like leaning into.
Yeah, it was really cool because there's this aspect of like being able to see your own set and everything's sort of different. And then there is also an in-game messaging system as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So the way that kind of works at the moment is it's a GM to player and player to GM. The GM can actually message as themselves or with some aliases, so they can message from a shopkeeper, from an NPC of some kind. They can use it as just the general updates if you see XYZ. And yeah, that's also leaning in more towards that forcing players to interact with each other through roleplay rather than everyone just listening on what you're doing.
So, what do you have set up now? Is it just minis? Is it just landscapes, or what kind of characters and creatures do you have right now?
So at the moment, we've got a fair few sets of assets. We've got a core pack, which has got a few little bits and pieces from other things. We've got a city-based pack, we've got a dungeon-based pack, and we've got some wilds. I think we also have an ocean-based pack as well. So the wilds have got more of your foresty things, some trails, all of that. Ancient Margastar, which we can show on our AR photo booth. Dungeon packs got some general dungeon assets, some caves, whatever else. And oceans, we've actually got a full ship that you can look at as well.
So different parts of the ship, or just like one big ship that you get to look at?
Both. So we've got an approach sort of view where you look at the whole ship. It's sitting on some water, you can see the waves rolling kind of deal. And then you can actually look into specific rooms of the ship and explore with your party, step by step.
Okay. So creatures, we've got landscapes, we've got props. Now, is it just sort of fantasy at the moment, or where do you see this sort of going?
At the moment, we've got a lot of high fantasy assets, and we're sort of leaning into that quite a lot because it's been a lot of what our target market is, and that's generally around sort of the D&D, Pathfinder, whatever else. But we are starting to move into some sci-fi things for Starfinder and anything else that's sort of coming out sci-fi. And we're looking at moving into as many genres as we sort of can, I think.
So where is the project at right now? Can I buy it right now, or what am I waiting for?
At the moment, we're at just pre-early access, which is coming out in the next month or so, is the projected timeline. Following that, early next year, we're hoping to get a full release out. The reason we're kind of holding back is we've got a full creation kit as well that needs a bit of a rework so that everyone can actually make the most of the tool.
So what is a creation kit then that we're waiting for?
And so this creation kit lets you make your own campaigns, sessions, and encounters. And those encounters are what you actually show on your cards. And rather than just making everyone use the stuff that we've made ahead of time, we want people to be able to make things that are more specific for their campaigns. They can't exactly make their own assets for it, but we have such a wide variety that that's pretty much going to be something that you can use for your campaign.
Is that something you're looking for in the future? Something that like a mod community basically, or is that like far future?
We have spoken just a little bit about possibly letting people upload their own assets and things like that. Yeah. There's some logistical tech things around it and how we handle it that we haven't actually looked at, so it's a little bit further down the line before we can actually seriously consider it. But yeah, as of now, at the moment, we're just looking at using our own assets.
So if people want to find out more, where can they go?
So we've got our website, ardentroleplay.com. You can go there and get a lot of information on that. There's actually a few other assets on there, so some print and play stuff, and we have some decks that you can buy. It'll send you all around to find all of those things. Failing that, you can always look for our social media, and that'll always point you in the right direction as well.
Do you remember your social media?
Ooh, I think it's at Ardent Roleplay app on Instagram, and you can just search Ardent Roleplay on Facebook as well, and you'll find that.
Awesome. Thanks so much for your time, Ty.
No worries. Thank you.
What's up, everybody? It's your boys, Jamie and Jack. We're in Collingwood at the Game Out Game Market. It's a annual kind of event where people who love retro games, current games, collectibles, and board games come together to buy, trade, and sell. So, Jack, this is your first time here.
It is the first time that I'm at this this event. Not my first kind of retro market. I am very much excited to see what is on show at the event. I'm obviously turning up a little bit late because there's not a big lineup out the door, but yeah, I'm keen to get on into it.
Same here, so let's drop this microphone and start walking in.
Drop the microphone.
My name's Sal. We're from the Game Experts. We're here at the Go Game Out Market for September. Just brought a fair bit of our stuff, actually. Didn't manage to bring in a lot just because all of our stuff's in storage, getting ready to open up shop, hopefully. Within the next 3-4 weeks. So yeah, there's a lot of, lovely retro gamers here that we've been meeting, and yeah, like it's awesome to see what different types of stuff people are into. I mean, some people love their Nintendo, some people love their Sega, some people love their PS1, and I'm really proud that we'll be able to bring all those types of products for everyone. I mean, no one's left here unhappy, which is great. I mean, it makes my day. I mean, because I'm a collector as well, and I bought 2 GameCubes today, which was uber wrapped about. I myself have been doing this for 8 years. I started off with a really close friend, and we were just pretty much, it started off as, I'll always mention this to him, we always laugh. So we pretty much went to a vintage market. I'm like, okay, I want a Monopoly set, and he wanted a poker set. So I'm like, cool, gonna go and find this. And surprisingly, I got my first PlayStation 1 and an Xbox just found it at the bottom of its tab. I'm like, oh, I remember this, want to try it out. And then just ever since then, just wanted to collect it all, and I've just been finding that we've been being able to source these products and knowing where to look and getting the right people. So I'm like, there's a lot of people that want this sort of stuff. I mean, when we started our first market, we saw just everybody was amazed and wanting all this stuff. So I'm like, I think it will be a pretty lucrative business because there's a lot of people that are wanting it. So I mean, we launched our online store about 3 years ago, and it's been really good. I mean, we've done we went to Oz Comic Con this year, which was really good. Met a lot of lovely people, and so just feel that it'll be an awesome opportunity to provide Melbourne with a retro game store. Look, a lot of people come and asking for the Conker's Bad Fur Day, the Snowboard Kids 2, the StarCraft, and some people like a lot of obscure sort of games that are really cheap. Like, it's cool to see some sort of stuff like that. So a lot of original Xbox games that are really hard to come by, but they're sort of cheap. There's a massive library of rare games and stuff like that, but mainly Snowboard Kids 2, StarCraft, Conkers. On the SNES we get Mega Man X2, X3. But there's so much, and thankfully we've got a fair few of them. So we brought our Conkers here, StarCraft, Aiden Chronicles, Snowboard Kids 2. Brought them all here for everyone, and everybody's loving that they're here. I mean, they're very hard to come by sometimes, but all of the information of when we're opening and stuff will be on our socials. So just our Facebook page, /The Game Experts, and our Instagram page, and we'll release something on the website as well. So all of the information will be on our socials.
I'm Diane. We're working with 56 Bits. We're here to sell video games.
So you run an eBay store, but this is very different to an eBay store. I guess, I imagine this probably wouldn't be your first one. Why do you enjoy doing, or why would you come to this sort of event to sell games as opposed to just doing eBay?
So this kind of event is good because you get to talk to the gamers. It's because we do a lot of buying and selling. It's good to get that repertoire between seller and us. We can talk more one-on-one. We can say this is the things that we've got in store that we might not necessarily have on us, which is very good. It's also much easier to sell stuff that are bulky, and we don't need to sell them on eBay, which is much better for fees. Go Game Market's really good because it's all video games, not just one stall of video games amongst, crockery and glasses and all those kind of things that you don't really want. So you get a very specific audience compared to other markets. You get the Mario and Zelda and all those classic titles. We get a couple of cool ones, so with Splatterhouse that we've recently got, which is really cool. Got sealed GameCubes. We get a lot of the sort of Japanese anime sort of titles, so Fire Emblem. We got a sealed one recently, which was insane. I think we bought it for $80 and sold it for 400. So so that was all right. That was a good day. We do get some questions about how to repair games and what would be good to clean stuff with. So because we do a lot of the cleaning and repairing, we sort of can point them towards the correct tools and, what would work best. If you type in to eBay 56-bit store, that's on there. We also have a website coming soon, which is 56bits.com. Still in progress, or on Facebook.
So that was the Go Game Out Market. It was here at the Collingwood Town Hall.
That's right.
And we got some stuff, and we're going to show you. It's show and tell time, kids. So
like and subscribe.
Look. I got some weird stuff. I mean, why wouldn't you buy weird stuff, I guess? But,
okay.
I got the Guitar Hero on tour, but just the controller. So you put the 4-button guitar basically in the Game Boy Advance slot of your DS, and then you put the game itself in the DS. And so I am very excited to get onto that when I get home.
Yep.
It's weird, but
that's I thought you also bought. You bought something else.
I did buy. They gave me crap for it, which I get, but wow, savage. The Spyro Super Pack, Spyro Season of Ice and Season of Flame. It has an ESRB rating. I'm not even sure if this was released in Australia? PAL regions.
That's a Game Boy Advance game. You'll be fine.
Oh yeah, I know it's multi-region, but it's got both Spyro 1 and 2 for the Game Boy Advance on it. The lesser game Spyro games on the GBA, but they're both still pretty good games.
They're fine.
You've, I feel got stuff that people might have an appreciation more for.
Kind of. So I bought a lot of GameCube stuff because I'm a weirdo like that. So I bought a copy of Metroid Prime 2 because I've never actually played it. I figured, why not? I bought a copy still in lovely, lovely sealed bag Beautiful Joe because it's a classic. And I bought something a little weird. So because I like rhythm games, so I bought a copy of Donkey Konga 2 for the GameCube. It's a Japanese copy because they all have different soundtracks per region, which is pretty cool.
But you can't really play that here.
I can find ways.
Yeah, right, yeah.
But the other thing I bought, which is totally not a GameCube thing, is a PS2 controller because I need to film some stuff for PS2 and I don't have a controller.
And so it was $8.
It was 8 whole Australian dollars.
It's like 4 US cents.
Oh, it's like
the
maybe
Australian dollars crap.
Yeah, I know.
The joke.
We just came back from Japan.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, I feel like it was a pretty fun event. Everyone was really, really happy to be there. Like
it was very chill.
Yeah. Like, well, I mean, was it chill in the morning?
Well, the environment was very chill.
Yeah.
It was very hectic in the morning, but everyone was just like, they want to get the good stuff first, man. You gotta be in it to win it.
And I imagine they probably would have gotten the pricey stuff first as well. But yeah, even like by close to closing time when we spoke to some of the people at the event, they were super, super chill about everything as well, having a great time. We'd be walking around, getting shots, and we'd get like banter in, and I'm like, this is such a cool event.
Yeah, it was really cool.
I love it so much.
So the next one's coming up in April, so we will be there hopefully.
Yes, it will be. So it's. If you want to find out more, I imagine they would have a Facebook page of some sort.
Yep, they are on Facebook. They're on
Game
Twitter.
Out Market.
Yes.
So check them out if you want to see the April-ish probably one. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I'm here at GCAP 2019 at the Melbourne Convention and Exhibition Centre. I'm joined by Manami Matsume and Alex Aniel from Brave Wave. Thank you so much for joining me. Do you mind, I guess, to open, sort of speaking a little bit to who you are and why you're here at GCAP?
My name is Alexander Aniel, and I am the co-founder of Brave Wave Productions and the Japan Business Development Manager for Limited Run Games.
Cool.
And I've come here to GCAP on invitation from the Australian games industry due to my ties in the video game music sector.
作曲家の松前まなみです。それだけでいいのかな
So my name is Manami Matsumae. I am a composer.
Matsumae-san, in your talk you spoke about some of the technical limitations when you started your career in game composing. Those limitations meant that you focused on the melody, but in I suppose more recent times that's fallen out of favor compared to more ambient music. How did you sort of maintain your style without losing relevance in the game composition industry, I suppose?
日本でも海外のゲームが
Yeah, indeed. I think there was a time in the Japanese game music industry when there was a very high demand for ambient music. And I think that had become a big boom in and of itself. And as a result, for people like me who were very melody focused in our approach to composing music, there was a time when really there was no work for us and there was no work for me to do. And I did wonder if faced with this existential crisis, if the industry had changed for good. But it turns out that things kind of come back in full circle. There seems to be once again a demand for very melodic sounding music, and I think the biggest example of that would be with the game Shovel Knight. And that music, harkens back to a lot of what we had back in the day.
な仕事っていうのは私のところによく来るようにはなっています。
You also mentioned in your talk that composers would be brought in very late to the development cycle when it was sometimes 50% or 80% complete. That was earlier in your career, but more recently with indie titles, it happens earlier on. What are some of the challenges with being brought into a game's development earlier on compared to later on in the cycle?
途中から参加
The two largest differences, the first, if you're involved in the project halfway through development and going forward, the game has been solidified and has become concrete to a certain extent. And developers are likely to have a better grasp of the kind of vision that they want to have executed within the game. So that makes it easy to make music in some respects. However, if you're involved from the very beginning, that can be tough in the sense that things are subject to change, and the developers might not truly know what they want until a little later on in the process. But that said, it's a lot easier to have discussions and influence in the in the production process when you're in there from the very beginning, and a lot of your own input, might lead to the game taking, going in a certain direction as well.
っていうのが、2つの大きな違いだと思います。
When you started your career, game composing was more exclusive to professionals in the field, I suppose, but now the equipment is more affordable. Anyone can compose game music. What are some of the differences between a professional and an amateur composer in your view?
本当に今低価格でいろんな
Yeah, so I think you're right. Composition equipment and software have become a lot more affordable these days. Even the less experienced can take up the mantle of a game composer. However, I think what sets someone like me apart from someone who's an amateur is that communication is a very big part of the equation. It's important to be able to communicate well with the development team and kind of understand what they want, what their intentions are, and being able to read, what they want to do. I think an amateur composer may not be as well versed in such a social kind of skill, and I've experienced this firsthand myself, where there are young composers who are very talented, but their communication skills weren't up to par, and that did them no good.
ちょっと残念なところなのかなっていうふうに思っています。
And I guess to close out, Alex, can you speak a little bit to what is Brave Wave and what you set out to do with the company?
So it was Mohammed who came up with the idea.
Right, okay.
He had this dream of working with a lot of his favorite Japanese game composers, but he didn't know how to speak Japanese, and most of these Japanese game composers don't speak English that well. So he initially needed an interpreter and a translator, and we knew each other beforehand, so he asked me to take care of some of these discussions. So being the go-between, I developed relationships with people on both sides, and including Manami-san. And it turns out that even after those initial pet projects were finished, Mohammed had more aspirations regarding what he wanted to do with these composers. He wanted to make more albums, do more collaborations. So I told him that, if you're gonna do to some degree of professional work with these composers, you have to have a company in order to make this professional and official even, I would say. But he wasn't able to start the company on his own, so I decided to help him out and do it for him from Japan, from Tokyo. And that's how the idea was born, and it's kind of grown, over the years. We work with multiple artists. We've released a number of albums, and we've worked with a lot of large and recognizable game publishers like Capcom, Koei Tecmo, Sega especially. So we've kind of become this label slash agency slash, what's a good word? Label, agency, and I guess go-to when people in the West want to get in touch with old school and new school game music composers, especially from Japan.
Cool. Thank you both so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
And that's it for this week on the show. We've got way more coming up. We've always got way more coming up. There's always so much more. It doesn't matter whether you're watching this on TV as New Game Plus or radio as Z Games. We have all the links, Meg. Do you remember all the links?
NewGamePlus.tv, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram,
everywhere.
Facebook. We're on all the channels.
New Game Plus TV. If you want more podcasting, New Game Plus has a podcast. You can find it on iTunes and Spotify. Z Games is also there. ZedGamesAU.net is the website. You can find Z Games AU on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And if you happen to be in Brisbane, first of all, sorry, but second of all, on Wednesdays at 6 p.m, you can listen to Z Games on 102.1 FM Triple Z on Wednesdays. Yeah. So that's it for this week. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, and we'll see you next time.